Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's racing show is sponsored by RiverviewFamily.com Auto Sales. Go hit them up for all your auto sales needs. Tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube. We have with us race car driver Derek Crane. Welcome to the show, Derek.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about your racing career. Where did this adventure begin for you?
I was born into it. My great uncle started racing back in like the late 50s or early 50s, and ever since then it's been a family thing. My great uncle, both my great uncles, my grandpa, my dad, myself, my brothers, we've all raced. We started racing in 2001 at Badger Kart Club. And that was a lot of fun and continued pushing forward, and now we're running sprint cars.
Okay, when you got behind the wheel for the first time, Derek, were you the least bit scared at all?
Ooh, was I the least bit scared? Uh
Yes.
yes, but not but not for the reason. I saved all my birthday money and Christmas money up to buy my first go-kart. It took me 5 years to do that. And the night before my first race, I asked my mom what happens if I crash tomorrow. And she's like, well, then you're not racing until it's fixed. And so I was scared of like crashing because of the financial aspect, not because of getting hurt.
Okay. How much success have you had as a race car driver?
It depends on who you ask, honestly. I think we're decent. Not a USAC driver, an NASCAR driver or anything, but I feel like we're kind of feared, and people take us seriously when we show up to race. Got I think over 40 feature wins in go-karts and sprint cars. And recently just kind of stepped out of the sprint car and started doing some wing sprint car stuff and four banger stuff. And got some heat race wins there and feature wins in the four banger.
Okay. What's an awesome day at the racetrack look like for you?
Ooh, when because we travel a lot too. So usually we're on the late bus rolling in and just get the car out. Usually stop if we're running locally, we stop at Quick Trip because that's the best gas station to go get food and beer at. But yeah, when we're traveling outside, we just get to the track when we can, look at the track and just kind of go from there. I used to speed skate, and when I got to the national level, the coach actually broke us of like all of our like superstitions, and like we have to do stuff in a certain order because you can't guarantee that every time. So really my everyday race kind of looks different depending on where we're at.
Hey, when you win races, how do you celebrate your victories?
A lot of beer, a lot of whiskey. Um, yeah, usually we drink a lot being from Wisconsin, so got to do that. But we like Green River whiskey from Owensboro area of Kentucky, so that's usually our shot of choice. And then wait a little bit and drive home, and then have some more beer at the next shop night, celebrating some more with some pizza and stuff too.
What is the story behind your racing number?
So I have two racing numbers. My first scoring number was 19. My dad's number was 91. And so when I started racing, and I was born in 1991, I was like, I'm going to be number 91. My dad was like, no, you got to be your own man, pick your own number. My mom's favorite number is 19, and it's an inversion of 91. So that's why I picked 19 for the first like 20 something years of my racing career. And then recently I changed it to 59 because Colin Sivia, um, watch out for that name because that kid's going places. Right now he's 14 or 15 years old. He's really good, but he was having a fundraiser and he had a 50-50 raffle um, kind of thing with numbers 1 to 99. And my brother picked my number 19 and he's like, oh no, I'll give it back to you. And I was like, well, no, because if you win or if I win, then you'll be upset that I that you switched. You gave me that number. So I saw 59. I always liked 59. It kind of looks cool, sounds cool, looks good on a race car. No one really has it either. So I picked 59, and Colin's mom says, "What happens if you win it?" I'm like, "Oh," jokingly, because I don't win 50-50. He's like, "Oh, I'll just change my number." Well, won the 50-50 there, and then had another raffle a couple months later. 59 was available. I took it and won that one too. So I was like, "All right, 59 is, I guess, my lucky number." So that's why uh we're number 59 now.
Okay. What's an awesome day at the race shop look like for you?
Typically we have two shop nights. With like the whole team comes over, and we the so if we race, let's say just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll usually have shop night on Tuesday. We'll get everything unloaded, sweep the trailer out, wash the car, look to make sure that nothing's bent, um, and then power wash. And then usually Thursday they'll come back and we'll kind of grease everything, prep everything, load in the trailer, and then we leave Friday morning to go race.
Okay. Who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
Oh man, I hope you're ready for this one. This is gonna be good. You gotta write them out. So we got Finn and Louie's Pizzeria, North Central Emergency Services, Sprecker's Brewery, Dirt X Industries, Kenosha Plumbing, Rouge Helmets, Next Gen Pumps, Hold My Beer Kenosha, Cananesforyou.org, Mirror Image Coatings, Jack's Helmet Designs, Ashley Bree Photography, Baden Nelson, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, MSP Camera Mounts, Daybreak Church, Lake County Hose, and Jeremy and Kylie Crane.
Are you still looking for sponsors for your racing team?
Of course, there's always space. Yeah, so yeah, that's our 2025 sponsors, and a lot of them have been, been on board for years and stuff. So yeah, we got hopefully some new sponsors coming on board for 2026. Can't wait to announce those shortly once we get that pushed across the line all the way.
All right. How does one get a hold of you to sponsor you?
Hit me up on Facebook, Derek DC Crane. That's my personal account, or the racing page, which is Derek Crane Racing. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Yeah, all the social media platforms.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to sponsor Derek here, reach out to him on his social media platforms that he just mentioned. Or if you'd like to sponsor him, go that way too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, Derek. So, okay, what was the transition like moving from kart to sprint cars?
Night and day. We raced road racing with the go-karts. So with go-karts, you attack the corner, but you have to kind of hit the brake while you're still in a straight line. And then kind of as you turn in, you kind of start to release off the brakes and kind of squeeze the throttle, where that is really slow in a sprint car. You kind of have to go in there full throttle, get the car rotated, and pavement, if you're sliding at all, you're losing speed. Well, in a sprint car, you're gaining speed. By charging the corner. So there's that. Also, the shocks, the car is moving a lot underneath you in a sprint car, where a go-kart there's no suspension besides the chassis flex. So that was a lot. Um, Closing speeds in a sprint car are extremely fast, because a lot of sprint cars brakes aren't for stopping. They're just kind of, for helping you get the car turned. A couple of years ago, I went back to Badger and ran a 100cc go-kart. And my friend who let me race it, she was like, "So is like, how is it compared to sprint cars?" I'm like, "The go-kart only has the braking on a sprint car. Everything else in a sprint car, when you're ripping the top on the cushion, it's got so much side bite. If you hit it a little too hard, it does feel like you hit the concrete wall and your head bounces off the headrest. Um, and then obviously acceleration in a sprint car is way better too than a go-kart. So transition took me a couple of years to really, really get to it, get all the way through, where I'm not thinking as much, as just it's just natural now. So but a lot of fun.
Okay, what are your future goals as a race car driver?
To pay the bills would be great. I know that's extremely hard, but just continue to have fun. A couple years ago, I probably took racing a little too serious for the level that I was at, and it just emotionally got me drained. Didn't really have a good outlook on it. So That was 2021, and then 2022, I was like, you know what, we're still race, but we're not going to points race or do anything like that, and travel more and just kind of pick and choose. And then from then on, it just fell back in love with the racing, and you just show up. And attack that night. And if you crash, you crash. And if you don't, you move on to the next night. Um, so I mean, there's pros and cons to running for points and picking and choosing, but I feel like I do better with picking and choosing.
Okay. What is your home racetrack?
Home racetrack is Wilmot Raceway in Wilmot, Wisconsin, right by the ski hill.
What is your favorite racetrack you ever raced on?
My favorite racetrack is I call it my second home, Windy Hollow Speedway in Owensboro, Kentucky. Great track, great facility, great fans. The shape of the track is really odd. It's just amazing. It's a fun place to race.
Are you pretty good about reading the racetrack?
I like to think I am, but reading the racetrack is kind of it's to a point it's to a guessing game. But I got Dirtex industry parts on the car, shocks, wheels, and they do a really good job at the tuning that I do. I can really feel it underneath me. So pretty decent at reading the tracks, I would say.
Okay. Being you race on dirt, do you like a wet heavy track, a dry dusty track, or right in the center?
Oh, I like a nice, well, I like a dry, glass smooth surface to a big curb on top, or I do like it really motocross rough. Just kind of get up on the horn and just hope it sticks and just drive it through the rough stuff. I'm learning to love that more and more and more as I continue to race.
Do you have a racing nickname?
I got a lot actually. The latest one I just got up at PRI, King of Wisconsin. That was pretty cool. Um, but I guess DC's like my official nickname, I guess, that it was given. I can't think of, I mean, there's a lot, but a lot, some I can't say.
Okay. All right. When you're strapped in your race car, getting ready to go on the racetrack, what else gets you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
Oh, yeah, the peace and calm of just sitting and staging, just kind of getting your thoughts together. Um, trying to play out what the row in front of you is going to do or where you think the line is based on the way you looked at the track. Um, a couple of races before you got in the car and you're just kind of playing through everything, and of course it never plays out the way you want it to, or rarely does, and then you think you're dreaming and you're waiting for your alarm clock to wake you up. But yeah, just kind of thinking, praying, hope, it's not if you're going to crash, it's when you're going to crash in a sprint car, and you're just praying that tonight's not your night that you're going to crash, and you're going to bring it home in one piece. And um yeah, just trying to really, for me, just trying to play out what everything around me is going to happen in turn one, and then kind of just live by the second after that.
Okay. Well, okay. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver?
Ooh, man. uh the best one advice I got, it's kind of humorous, but it's true. It's from my dad. When I was afraid to run the top, and he was just like, "Go up there, run the top. It's gonna stick." And it does. It's either gonna stick on the cushion or it's gonna stick and hit the wall, and you'll go for a ride. But um, that one, then the other good one is always ride the brake coming to green, whether that's a start or restart. Just ride the brake. And that
Okay.
kind of helps with that smooth transition from idle to high speed.
What kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
Have fun. Don't be afraid to fail, because you are. Um, Result wise, reading the tracks, set like just everything you're gonna fail at it, but just keep at it. Right, take good notes. You may not know what the notes mean, but after a year or so of racing, you're gonna look back and you're gonna start to see a trend and be like, oh, okay, so that's when I feel good, or that's when I don't feel good, I'm doing this. Um, and yeah, just continue to have fun because if you're not having fun, I mean, it's really hard to make money at this, so you got to be having fun to do it.
Okay. Who's your racing hero?
My racing hero growing up, Steve Kinzer, uh, the legend. Paul Hazen, of course, legendary car owner and non-wing. Um, John Stanbro, and right now, I'm gonna say Kyle Larson is probably my favorite driver currently to watch.
Have you ever met any of these guys?
I raced against John Stanbro this summer. That was pretty cool. Well, I tried to race against him, I should say, but that was cool to run against him at Circle City. Kyle Larson, I've seen in passing at PRI. He's a lot shorter than what I think he would be, but it's because of TV. Steve Kinzer, I was gonna get an autograph from him when I was a kid, but I got to the front of the line and I got scared and I ran back to my mom. So, kind of regretting that.
Oh, yeah. What would you say if you had the opportunity to talk to Steve Kinzer and Kyle Larson?
Oh man, if I if I could ask Steve Kinzer anything, it'd probably be how the heck were you so good? Um, like 700 plus World of Outlaw feature wins. Um, and how do I replicate that in today's age? And then Kyle Larson, I guess I'd ask him, as I got a 9 month old at home now, like if he wants to race, what path should I take for him to make it to where he's at?
Okay. Um, so what do you like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
Uh, love watching hockey, go Blackhawks. Um, Also a Preds fan, just because their affiliate team is the Milwaukee Admirals, which that's only, I don't know, 30 minutes from my house, Milwaukee. So, like to go to games, don't go that much, once a year usually. Um, I love hiking, with my wife. We've been to Utah, Wyoming, lived out of a van for like 12 days or 10 days. That was pretty fun, a couple years ago out there, when the race season was over. Love hiking and it's kind of just unplugging from everything.
Okay. Who's on your racing crew?
Was on my racing crew. All right, so I got my wife, my beautiful wife Ashley, my son Landon, my dad Kyle, Maddie, Dave, Hunter, Autumn, Elliot, David Crane, and the rest of the Crane gang. Because that's another thing is, yeah, whoever shows up to, I'm happy to take them.
All right. Who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
Who are some of my friends at the track? Oh man, I got John Gurley, um, Trace Mailer, Owen Barr. Briar Schroeder. I feel bad because like I know I'm gonna forget someone. The whole McHelps crew for letting me drive their four banger car and Tiny Horse Johnson, um, Chad Freeman. Oh man, that one put me on the spot. I'm trying to
All
think
right.
now. But yeah, um, Colin Sivia, the kid that I just mentioned earlier. I like hanging out with him. Saw him at PRI. Really, really serious racer and really good. So, those guess I would say my friends are, or at least who I would consider friends.
Okay. Do you have any big races you're looking forward to racing or coming up?
Oh man, Chili Bowl's always on my bucket list to do. Um, Had a deal for this one, but it just didn't work out all the way with funding. But we're trying for 2027 now, so I'm looking forward to that one. The series this year is going to Lawrenceburg on May 9th, so I'm really, really excited to run at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. Windy Hollow, of course, my second home. Love running there. And anything other than that, I guess would be kind of, run Eldora for the Four Crown would be cool someday. run in Australia or New Zealand in a sprint car. That would be really cool to do. Um, and try out the West Coast too. I'd love to go out there sometime and just kind of see how the sprint car racing scene's out there.
How many crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
Oh man. Um, tell you one from this year because I don't think I've told anybody. It's not that crazy, but it kind of went in my favor. I was running for Dang It Brian Racing. Tom Brown, the car owner, allowed me to drive his wing car, 604 wing car, in May this year while we were waiting for our engine, our non-wing engine to be done. And we're starting second for the starting second in the heat race. Uh, and I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna jump the start. I'm gonna jump the start, the first start. I'm just gonna jump it and see what happens. And I jumped it and they didn't call it back, and he was just amazed that when I came back in, he's like, I can't believe you actually jumped it. I'm like, oh, I thought they like I was ready to put my hand out coming off it too. Like, yeah, that was pretty bad. But they allowed it to go through, and looking at the camera wasn't as crazy as I thought. We kind of hit the firing line at the same time. Um, see another crazy racing story. I mean, usually the crazy stuff doesn't really happen on the track. A lot of the time it's off the track. Uh, like Jackson Motorplex in 2019. Yeah, 2019. Ran Friday night and Saturday night. But between Friday and Saturday, I think a lot of us only got about 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep because we were partying until the sun came up. Um, there's another one. I'm gonna try to leave names out, but there was a school and they did the school and then we were kind of loading up and then two individuals decided to get in pickup trucks and race around the track after a lot of beer and stuff, and that was kind of crazy. Almost crashed, but there wasn't. And at that point we were all like, we got to go home before anyone gets in trouble. But um yeah, those are the ones that kind of come to mind right away.
Okay. Um, what types of racing you like to watch on TV?
Ooh, Formula One. I nerd out to Formula One a lot, which I know is kind of crazy coming from a dirt racer. Um, but I watched it since I was little. Um, kind of wanted to be a Formula One driver when I was young, but um, just kind of, not living in Europe kind of hurts that, and kind of staying at club level for a long period of time too, doesn't help with that. But and of course, that's with the V12s and V10s, and now they're on the six cylinders, so in the hybrid. So I'm not really fond of that, but I still like watching Formula One.
Who's your Formula One driver?
Ooh, my current Formula One driver is Oscar Piastri, but my heroes growing up were Kimi Räikkönen, Hakkinen, Michael Schumacher.
Okay.
Those are my guys.
Okay. So at this portion of the racing show, Derek, I'd like to turn the mic over to my guest. If you have a couple questions you'd like to ask me, you can ask me a couple questions.
Oh, okay. So what got you into doing this show?
Been a racing fan for 30 plus years.
Okay. Okay, you look good for doing this for 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
For being a following or racing for 30 years. Um,
Yeah.
who's your favorite race car driver, current and all time?
Okay. All time in sprint car racing, it was Doug Wolfgang.
Legend. Yes.
Currently, currently, currently in racing, I'll tell you what. Currently, Kyle Larson's my favorite NASCAR driver.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What's your home track?
Jackson Motorplex.
Ah, yes, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Favorite favorite local Jackson Motorplex driver.
Gordy Vogler.
Okay. That sounds like a fun name to say.
He used to drive the 75 Summer Racing Group's 360 sprint car.
Okay, 360 sprint car. Nice, nice. Do you know the Kubas?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's another name. Jay Kuba. He's a friend at the racetrack too.
I remember
How can you?
seeing Joe and I remember seeing Joe and Jim race.
Okay. Yes. Jimmy, I've raced Jimmy and Jake a lot more than Jimmy.
Yeah.
Um, but man, those guys are dangerously fast when they show up. Oh man, sorry, I'm a little uh plug for mine, but like I host a podcast. So now when you ask that, I'm like, ooh, now my brain's like, we're going into host mode. Okay, let's go. Um, okay. Do you like what's your favorite discipline of racing?
I like pavement and dirt both. I love it all. I love it all.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just saw a post on Facebook right before we went live, and someone was saying, showing like Ohio, they only got like four pavement tracks, but they got like 30 dirt tracks, and they're saying that pavement
You were
racing's
asking
dead.
about you were asking my favorite legendary driver from the past. Another one I liked was Dan Weldon.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the
What did
Lionheart.
he race?
He raced Indy cars. The Lionheart.
Okay. Indy. Okay. What's
He
your
he was a he was a two-time Indianapolis 500 winner and IZOD IndyCar champion.
okay. Wow, Izod. So
Yeah,
that's pretty recent then. Or not recent,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
probably early 2000s.
Yeah, he was killed at Vegas.
Oh yeah, Dan Walden. Yes, yes. Duh.
Yeah,
What's your favorite period of Indy cars? Let's go by decades.
anywhere from anyway from like the late 80s through the 90s and up until now.
Okay. Okay. See, I really enjoyed watching the old videos from like the 60s and 70s. Like that's really cool.
Yeah,
And then kart too was
yeah,
crazy. 241 miles an hour. Could you imagine going 241 miles an hour?
yeah. And back then too, another driver I followed, two of them was Alonso Jr.
Yep. That was my
and
guy. Yep.
and then also Ari Lindike.
That was my mom's favorite driver, Ari.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then besides watching racing and being at the track, what do you like to do outside?
I like to play frisbee golf. I like to go for walks. Like to go for cruises.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, here's a good one that I've asked some of my guests. What's your least favorite car number?
Oh, just because it's kind of spooky, I'd say number 77.
77. Oh, lucky number 77. Okay. Okay. I can't stand 53. And one of my buddies, oh, Dustin Holland, another friend at the track, Dustin Holland, he runs 53. And I'm like, I don't like your number, but I like you.
The reason why
Any
70,
particular reason?
the, the reason why is because that's the car that Dan Weldon was killed in.
Ah, yep. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about too how superstitions in racing start. Like the reason why green is not a lucky number is because I think that was the color of the car back in the early 1900s that killed all those people in Le Mans.
Yep. Another
Another
thing,
one,
another
but
thing, Derek, you don't know about me is I used to be a Special Olympic athlete.
mm, okay. What was it? What was
I
the
used to
best story about that?
I was 11-time state champion and one-time national title holder.
Mm, okay, royalty here. Wow,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, favorite story from that?
Oh man, it had to have been the Nationals in 2006. I went in there, we filled out the application to do because I'd won state championships and it was the first year that they were getting back into it. And we filled out the application. It was a long application and it was just like a 50-50 shot. You know, you got a shot, you get named, if your name gets drawn, you're gonna be part of Team Iowa. Da, 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 da.
Mm,
So filled out the application. 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, welcome to Team Iowa. You've been accepted." You're going to play tennis for Team Iowa. Okay, cool. So went and played tennis. Okay, for Team Iowa, trained and everything else. We go down there for the national competition. We have the U.S. Open referees there, and I'm just like, whoa, this is huge.
Mm.
Well, then the
Oh,
whole time we're like down there 6 or 7 days. We have our own private security guards escorting us to and from the events and to our and with our families and stuff like that. Got to be on the Today Show for one day, which is pretty cool. Um,
okay.
and then got to see Hootie and the Blowfish in concert.
Ooh,
Got to see Jody Messina in concert. Got to shake hands with Tom Arnold. Um, Kurt Warner was there.
wow. Quarterback.
Yeah, yep. And then, like I said, the whole entire time, well, then leading into the competition, their scoring was different. And I went in there, I won the first two matches, and they're like, well, the scoring's a little different. We don't know how this is going to pan out. So I go into the final round. Me and the guy that I was playing tennis, singles tennis with, we had the exact same record. So I was like, this is going to go down big time.
Yep.
So the guy that I was playing tennis with in the final round, he comes up to me before we take the court, and he says, "I just want you to know that I trained for 3 years with Andy Roddick." And I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be brutal. This is going to be brutal on my end. My end." Well, he was having an off day, and I just capitalized on it. Well, did very well in the last match. Well, then we get ready to go in to get our awards, and the our escorts and security are like, "Hey, when you get in there to the awards ceremony, there's going to be a podium. There's going to be like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. When you get in there, you continue walking and we'll tell you when to stop." So we got in there with all the media and stuff like that. And I was on like five and I keep going, keep going, keep going. Well, we got to first, number one spot. And I stopped there. And I was like, I looked down, I was like, you kidding me? I just won this whole thing. And yeah, so I was the number one ranked tennis player for Special Olympics for Team Iowa for 4 years.
Wow. That's really cool. That's really
And
cool.
I was, and I was like once away from Team USA.
Oh, oh, if only something played out just slightly different. All right.
Yes.
What could have been?
Yeah.
What could have
Yeah.
been? Is when I speed
Yeah.
skated, that's what how it happened. I did club and then I went to regional and then right at the national point, and then they're like, yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
go international, you gotta put $10,000 a month. And I'm like, $10,000 a month? I might as well start racing again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because man, that was she's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive these days.
And another
Um,
thing too, another thing, Derek, is everybody's like, "Hey, have you met any professional race car drivers?" I said, "Yes. I've met Rusty, Mike, and Kenny Wallace.
all
I've met Kenny
three.
Short. I've met Kenny Schrader,
Okay.
and I've also met Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart, nice. Smoke.
Yes.
Yeah, Smoke's pretty cool. I like Smoke. No
Yes.
BS, just right to the point. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Out of those three or four, wait, 4 or 5, um, who was your favorite one to meet?
Rusty, definitely Rusty, because back in the
Rusty.
day, he was the the man. Him and
Mm,
Earnhardt Sr.
hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, the two black cars. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, Dale Sr., another hero.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Like that's something that kind of was like shocking. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, Dale Earnhardt died a few years ago, but it's not. He died before I started racing, and so I feel like I've been that. It's just like one of those time warps where it's just like, no, it can't be what it is. But man,
Another story I
um,
like to share is I was down at the '99 Knoxville Nationals,
okay,
1999. I was walking through the pit area after the last night and just walked over by Kinzer's car, and he had just won the '99 Knoxville Nationals,
hmm.
and they had his car roped off, and I was standing there. And this person comes up and says, "Hey, are you looking for somebody in particular?" He says, "Yeah, I'm looking to talk to Mark Kinzer." And they're like, "Well, he's up in the press box doing his interviews and stuff like that. We don't know when he'll be back." They says, "But if you want to come in the ropes here and have a conversation with us, you can, and then get an autograph." Lo and behold, that was Carl Kinzer.
Oh man, Carl Kinzer. That's someone. If I could pay, money was no object, and I could pay for a crew chief, that's the crew chief I'd want
Yes,
because he knew how
yes,
to
yes,
make
yes.
the cars go really fast.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all my
Yeah.
questions that come to mind.
Okay. So, out of all your racing career, what has to be your most favorite victory?
Ooh, favorite victory? I'm first one is always special. That was August 26th, 2001. That was the first feature in a go-kart. Then the first feature in a sprint car was May 21st, 2016. Those are memorable. Um, but I'm gonna have to say my favorite memorable ones are the Windy Hollow ones. Um, 'Cause we ran there 3 times this year. First year or the first one in late August was a barn burner between Trace and I. He just sat there for all 25 laps. Like I thought I could hear him and I couldn't. And the last uh 4 laps, he was coming and I could hear him. And I'm like, crap, I don't know what to do because I haven't been searching. We pulled that one off, photo finish. And then the other two Indy Hollows, we were having issues with the engine, and we were able to still pull off 2 wins there. So those I think were my favorite ones.
Okay. Was anybody else you'd like to thank you for helping you get this far with your racing career?
Oh man, my mom, um, my brothers, Kyle, Nathan, and Caleb. I always, it's tough. Um, on my parents, 4 boys racing go-karts and then me and Nathan continuing to race sprint cars. So I know it's really tough on my other 2 brothers. So I thank them so much for their support. Um, you know, all of my previous sponsors in go-karts, Relive, GWGE.net, um, Barone Spinal Care, Franklin Motorsports, um, who else do I have in the go-karts? Um, Artec Racing Engines, Turner Racing Engines. Um, my dad, especially for, pushing me because there's days where I don't want to quit. I just want to quit the night, just be like, I'm done. And he usually has the worst thing to say at the right time, and it just irritates me. And I'm like, okay, I got to go out there and prove. I drive better with a chip on my shoulder. So, my dad for pushing me. Um, my wife for just rolling with the punches, especially in sprint car racing where you could have a rain out, but you have another couple tracks that you can go to, and we do that, and so she doesn't make a stink, because she's not from a racing family, so um, really, really appreciate her for everything she's sacrificed um, for this. Um, and obviously my crew that I listed off earlier, Maddie, Dave, Elliot, Hunter, Autumn, David Crane, the rest of the Crane gang. Um, so yeah, thank you guys so much.
Okay. Before I let you go, what is your favorite part about being a race car driver?
Oh man, favorite part about being a race car driver? I would say my favorite part, especially with the dirt racing, it's becoming more and more popular. Obviously, it's a niche. You kind of have to follow it, but it is kind of nice to be somewhat popular at the track. But then you can go to the grocery store and you're just an everyday Joe. Um, there's been a few times I've been spotted. It feels good, but I can't imagine doing that every moment of your day, and you have to send people to do your groceries and stuff like that. But and also just being in control of the race car, uh, you know, just when the car's set up and you're just one with the vehicles, it's really hard to get that feeling anywhere else.
Okay, Derek, I would like to thank you for being on our racing show tonight, talking to us about your racing career, getting to know you a little bit better. I will have you step out and I will give you a call in a little bit to thank you.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Derek Crane on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. Go hit him up on his social media pages if you'd like to get to know him better or sponsor him. or if you'd like to sponsor our racing show or be on our racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-7138, or you can